the Biden administration has a good case to make about why that didn't happen earlier. The debris today apparently covers about 7 miles, so it's pretty difficult to control that sort of operation had you done it over US land. I think the Biden administration would also push back against this idea that they have been soft on China. I mean, the president himself, for example, has said more than once that the US would come to the aid of Taiwan if China invaded. Now, the administration tried to modulate that a bit after the president said it. But I understand there is an argument from the Republican side for that. But the White House pushes back pretty hard.
And Republicans, meanwhile, did attack the president for not shooting the balloon down over land or shooting it down earlier. Have they changed their tune now that it's down and the military is trying to pick up debris from the water?
I'm not sure about changing their tune. Their tune has gone, I think, temporarily silent, at least for a little while. And the criticism was that President Biden was being somehow lax or irresponsible or soft in allowing this balloon to make the progress that it did. There may be some arguments made by Republicans that he should have done that earlier. I would, though, get back to the point I made a moment ago. I mean, if debris from this balloon, which was apparently the size of 3 buses, you know, even in a remote area, if debris injures someone or worse, that would be a very serious thing in and of itself and a very big political embarrassment. So I don't think it's any surprise that they waited until the balloon was over the sea before shooting it down.
And we are looking at some of these tweets right now sent earlier in the day before that shot was made. Where does this put President Biden's relationship with China and President Xi Jinping now?
So it's obviously a tense relationship. President Biden has said a number of times that he expects that relationship to be one of competition rather than conflict. Clearly, China is a challenger, a rival to the United States. It's not a friendly country. But one of the big concerns is how you manage that basically adversarial relationship in a way that does not flame up in a way that could ignite an actual conflict or a real crisis. We'll have to see, of course, whether China takes any kind of reprisal action for the shooting down of this balloon. They do seem to have been told through back channels that it was likely the United States would do this. So I think the next few days will be telling in terms of where the relationship goes from here.
All right, Niall Stanage, always appreciate the context. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, a 6th member. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.